Hey, YouTube, we're live with, look at that, it says Rapid Record live with StreamYards, man. That's even double checking we're live this time. No more lost shows for us. We're definitely here. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a StreamYard live show. We are live. No disputing that this week. How you all doing? We're here for Buckaroo Banzai, one of my favorite movies, probably my number one favorite movies of all time. Buckaroo Banzai, he's a neurosurgeon, rock and roller, ninja. With his hard-rocking band, the Hong Kong Cavaliers, they go up against the evil Dr. Lizardo and the Red Lectroids from Planet 10. Buckaroo and Dr. Keita successfully broaches the eighth-dimensional home to the Red Lectroids with his oscillator overthruster. Meanwhile, Planet 10's leader, Lord Warfin, who's in the body of Dr. Lizardo in an insane asylum, is looking for a way to get home. But that's only the basic plot. Along the way, we get a girl that looks like Banzai's long-lost love, potential World War III, and even black Lectroids, and so much more wacky stuff. So along the journey here with us on one of my favorite movies, we're getting Steph. How you doing, Steph?
My bad. Yo, what's going on?
Oh, not too much.
Excited to talk about this.
We're live. Look, we're live.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say you should probably fill the
Live.
audience in. Last week we did a whole show, guys, but it wasn't live.
And Dylan's
So that's probably why you missed
and
us.
Dylan too. Who
Yeah,
with you there,
they'll
Dylan?
probably try to beat me up during the entire stream, but
So who you got there, Dylan? Introduce him to the audience.
yeah, he loves watching the stream. So I said,
Awesome.
you want to come watch me? And he decided to just hop on my lap and join in, I guess.
That's
Hey, no
dope.
problem. We
But
always have.
we'll
we
see
love
how long
having
that lasts.
extra people.
But I would
here.
probably take that off your face, Carpet.
I know. I don't even know how it got on there. Tell you the truth. Hold on.
Hey, StreamYard just wanted to let you know that you're live.
Yeah,
You're
he's live
and
this
well.
time. Yeah.
Let's get that off. How do I do that? I don't know how to put it on.
It's probably on the
There we
backup
go. We were live. What happened last week? I don't know what happened last week. I thought we hit the live button. We went live. We did the entire show, and it was a damn good one too. But you'll never see it. When we talked about the thing, and it's gone. But hey, we all do that.
We're learning as we go.
Learning
It
as we
happens to the
go.
best of us.
And Dylan was there the whole show going, gee, it doesn't seem like we're live.
Don't
Don't worry about it. But hey, so we're here to talk about
Now
Buckaroo
this is going to
Banzai.
be my fault.
Buckaroo Banzai, I was watching this again last night, and man, this is a quintessential 80s movie. If I wanted to show something like an example of an 80s off-the-wall flick, this would be one I would do. W.D. Richter, who was the writer of this, did such a good job. I always was one of my favorite films. I saw this in the theater, believe it or not,
Nice.
and I enjoyed it from the time I saw it. I was an instant fan, and then I must have seen it 300 times after that. And it's one of these movies that every time you watch it, you pick up something a little different. That's why I say you really got to watch it in headphones, because there's so much going on in the dialogue, the back and forths between him and the Cavaliers. Like, when he goes in and tells the guy, it should be nuke Russia, 1 on this, 2 on this. Which one are we going to do? All this type of go back and forth. But I've always loved this movie. The performances in it from Peter Weller. I mean, you got Peter Weller,
Absolutely.
John Lithgow, Alan Barker, Jeff Goldblum, Christopher Lloyd as Big Boutte.
I don't know his name,
Big
but the
Boutte.
Mike
Oh,
from Breaking Bad was in this
Mike.
for a
Yeah,
minute.
Mike was in it as the.
I don't know his name.
And that's who the heck is that? That's Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks. Okay.
Jonathan Banks. Yeah, he was in it
I
as
was- yeah.
the guy who gets killed by him in the insane asylum. You get Billy Vera, who was a musician. Yakov Smirnoff as the guy's the comedian. Vincent Schiavelli. Clancy Brown, who I wish didn't die in the movie.
Yeah.
Although they said in the special features if they ever did a sequel, Clancy was going to come back somehow.
They said that Jamie Lee was supposed to play freaking
yeah, I think they wanted Jamie Lee
Peter
initially.
Weller's mother.
Yeah.
Mom. Yep. They filmed
yeah.
it and everything.
Yeah.
And that's so wild, bro. That you would have thought that for a movie like that, Jamie Lee Curtis would be helped the movie, if anything, at that time.
Yeah.
She was on fire.
Even though she was on, she wasn't even supposed to be in it a lot at all. Like, it was really, kind of like a very small part.
Yeah.
She had done a real small part in like Escape to New York, a
Yeah,
very
Was she
small
like the
part.
voice of the A? Who? Someone
Yeah,
said that she's the
like
voice
an
of the
AI
AI.
or something,
Okay. Okay.
a
yeah. I mean,
computer
right
thing.
from right from the beginning, where they do the setup with the they go between the surgery and the car going into the eighth
The
dimension.
mountain.
I love that. I always thought the oscillator overthruster was kind of a ripoff of the flux capacitor in Back to the Future. Of course, you had
I
Christopher
th-
Lloyd in
didn't.
both
What?
movies. What's
Didn't
that?
this come out before Back to the Future?
I think it
Doubtful.
maybe
Back
did.
to
Yeah,
the
I think
Future
it
might have
did.
stole the idea from this.
I think
Well,
they
this is
just both
based
had
off of what a comic book.
they both had good ideas. But just the whole plot was so off the wall. Of him being a neurosurgeon, I
Rockstar.
Rockstar, and you had Jeff Goldblum in
Oh
full
wow, this
Western
was
chaps.
'84. Back to the Future was '85.
A5, yeah,
They probably might have been
Oh,
filming around the same time.
right.
yeah, absolutely.
I
Because
love
I bet you Back to the Future, if they didn't have the issues with
The
the
actor.
main lead, it might have
Yep.
came, yeah, because they had Eric Stoltz at first, and then they had refilmed everything with Michael J. Fox because they didn't like Eric Stoltz.
I would love to see that cut of the movie or what they shot with
mm,
him. To be
I know they
honest,
showed a couple cuts like in a documentary. I want to say
did
yeah.
they?
in
It's
the
on the
In Search of
internet. I think.
Tomorrow or something. I think
You
In
Oh,
Search
say
of
that,
okay.
Tomorrow because that's where I heard about that.
yeah.
All right, I'll
So
check that out.
But
yeah.
the whole setup of the movie, where you get the flashback back to 1938, and then we find out, these aliens came down during the War of the World broadcast. I mean, it was so off the wall. I love there's so many good scenes in this movie. I love the scene where they're all sitting in the bay and one guy's eating a bag of chips, one of the aliens, and they're all like standing around and uh, and Christopher Lloyd really nails his character. They have given the finger to the guy. It was so crazy, but I just love the movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. Now, I know you've seen it a lot, Dylan, right? I mean, you've seen it. No, this is your first time watching it.
I've
And
seen
Steph,
bits in it. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I could honestly never get into this movie. I've tried a countless amount of times because you guys always, bless you, they always rave about it. You especially, and then Robbie. You and Robbie always rave about it, and I'd put it on, and I'd be like, I just don't really get this, man. Then I'd always turn it
I
off.
can understand that.
So this
yeah, I
time
mean,
I
I
was
think
like,
it's one of
I'm
these
gonna
movies
really
that's
try to
very
watch this.
it's very divisive. I think a lot of people either love it, hate it,
You
or
either
somewhere
get it or you don't.
or
Like,
in
not that
between.
you that's bad. Yeah, you either like it or
It's
yeah.
a
There's
I mean,
I don't.
it's a little all over the
Yeah,
place
it's
to be honest.
quirky. I mean,
It's a genre collage.
It's
and that
it's
and
yeah,
that's why I
John
think
Clyde.
mhm.
It should have gotten some sequels to kind of help build the world.
Flesh that out.
Well,
And then I
Hell
feel
yeah.
I
like
don't
only
know. I
getting
think
one of them really kind of makes it where you're like, if you got more of them, you might understand
Yeah, I
it a
don't know if
bit
they were
Yeah.
really going for world building here, other than just being quirky and being off the wall by having him be this jack of all trades type of
I
guy.
mean,
They
they
weren't
were.
looking
They
to
just
explain
didn't
it.
do
Yeah.
an origin. They just set everything up. Like you could have. It was like in the middle of an ongoing
I kind of
adventure
like
that you
that.
could.
I tell you the truth, I don't think every movie needs an origin story. Sometimes I
Yeah,
like being
not
just
true.
no,
dropped right
definitely
into
not.
that and being dropped in. But yeah, it's definitely a quirky movie, and it's definitely a movie that you got to listen to the dialogue quite a bit and sit there and really pay attention to it because it can't just be on in the background. But yeah, so let's go to Link. Steph, this is the first time.
No, this is probably my sixth.
Oh,
I saw this movie for the first time last year, and I fell in love with it. I do get it though. I think it's a movie that you're either gonna really just kind of go for everything that's or you kind of like what the hell is kind of going on because that's how my first I enjoyed it my first watch, but it was like my second where it's just kind of like you just kind of got it. It was the ending of my first watch where they had the end credit scene where there's walking to that song that
yeah.
kind of was like what the shit is this, and it made me want to go back and watch it a second
Well, that's the
time.
Buckaroo Banzai theme.
No, yeah, but that's what got me. I was just like listening to it in the background. I was like, because I thought the movie was over, and I was like, I happened to look up, and because I wasn't really too engaged my first watch, and I saw them just walking down this highway to the song, and I just thought that was super dope. It was just so random,
Yeah, I
and so I
had
was like, all
that.
right, I'll give this a second watch.
This is definitely a soundtrack that's worth getting. I had it in the '80s. It's a great soundtrack.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I just say that it's very charming soundtrack. There's it gets stuck in your head like it's infectious.
hmm
But I've seen this like 6 times in the last year. Like it's a weird, it's a weird, bombastic, and it's zany, but it swings for the fences. And I get that not everyone will get, because there's really, like you said, or Dylan was saying, like this is something that could have helped with some world building, because you're really just thrown in the middle of some shit, and some people want to know, like, obviously there's history between everyone. They all got code names and stuff like
Well,
that. And
that was the movie's conceit. Is that this is almost like the same conceit you had in Escape from New York, where everybody in that movie said to Snake Plissken, "I thought you were dead."
Right.
In this movie,
Right.
the conceit
Yeah, but
is
this ain't like that.
no, but in this movie,
no,
in this movie, the conceit is this guy is huge. Everybody knows about him. He's got comic books about him. He's got books about him. He's been in the news. He's this big character. You don't see
he's
him.
The guy.
He's the guy. Intro where he's like a so he's like a crazy, like one of the best neurosurgeons.
Breaks through the sound
barrier.
The
hook, and that's the conceit of the movie, right? You got to take that for a given.
He was gonna like be some badass that knew karate and shit too, because his dad was like Japanese, and like so he was gonna be like kind of like there was gonna be some like martial arts shit in it, but there was none of that, So that kind of threw me off at first with that that quote in the beginning where they're saying he's a neurosurgeon,
half Jeff,
like with the rock band.
The
rock band thing kind of always threw me off too at first.
That was such a random bit.
But
that's great.
No, it definitely is. I mean, but I thought like with the Japanese father that he was gonna be like kind of like a martial artist, and we didn't really get that. So I kind of would have liked that to be honest.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a really quirky movie.
It was like a modernized take on like the pulp genre. Like
that's what I think it is. It's based on pulp comics. I thought, isn't it?
Well, no, it didn't. Yeah, I mean, it takes.
It's similar to like Doc Savage and shit, like stuff like that. Yeah,
but and it did come out with comics afterwards. After the
came out. See, I thought that it was based off of.
No, they came out with some comics to fill the gaps. Like
I know that they did after, but I could have sworn that they like in some videos I was watching, they were talking that it was based off of like old.
Yeah, and I think that World Crime League actually came out as a book.
So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, the movie came out as a book, because they never did. They also
I want to track down those comics
in the 90s. I think in the 90s or the early 2000s, this was going to be a TV series, and it was going to be done by Kevin Smith, and it never panned out.
Oh,
so
that would have been cool.
Yeah, it never panned out, but I think there was a pilot made. They shot it, but no one's ever seen it.
Yeah. See, everyone compares this and says that like Big Trouble Little China is almost like
because it's I think the director wrote the.
He did. He wrote Big Trouble Little
China.
Okay.
I think that's why people.
The same writer did.
The same director, yeah.
See, I mean, maybe it's like because I don't know who directed this. Maybe it's like something with the director, and that's why like some things like aren't as a given. Because to me, I'm gonna just say, man, I absolutely love Big Trouble Little China a lot.
Yeah,
more
that's more
sense to me.
Yeah.
Not to say that this is bad or anything. It's just when I hear like Robbie and Scarpad Raven, like Scarpad's told me this is like his absolute favorite movie of all time.
Yes.
At least one of them, and I would like, so I go in there like really expecting a lot, and then kind of go in there and I'm like, it's
right,
decent, but like I kind of was like, I feel like I'm missing
not
something.
getting the magic.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I definitely am gonna watch it again. I mean, shout out Scarpad sent me a Region B copy, so at least I could watch it. I missed out on the Scream Factory release. The
movie needs a remaster, like a 4K remaster, because even the Scream Factory.
I cannot believe Scream Factory hasn't done one yet.
Even the Scream Factory disc, it doesn't look all that great. I watched it.
Yeah.
It has some decent acting, but it doesn't look all that great.
Yeah. Well, I figured that's what's on. That's what's on the thing is the Scream Factory disc, and it's not really the greatest. It's very. Yeah.
I think with the Big Trouble Little China is like that's what it knows more of like. It's like a kung fu horror, and it's not the Buckaroo is kind of like it's a thriller, it's an sci-fi adventure, it's a comedy, it's a music video at times. It's just kind of everywhere, and it's I can understand like people being like what is going on, bro? Like pew pew or no. But yeah, it's It's different.
It's got a great soundtrack. It's got a great cast, that's for sure. And that's another thing where I was just like, oh, I mean, this is like Peter Weller, Clancy Brown,
Jeff
you know,
Goldblum.
what is it? Christopher Lloyd,
Yeah.
who's Jesus, why am I thinking the main bad guy? He's
John Lithgow.
John
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow.
And he is
Um,
absolutely
Dr.
awesome.
Big Booty or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, which is so when Christopher Lloyd goes through that, or John Lithgow, I'm sorry, when John Lithgow goes through that like kind of portal and gets stuck, and then comes back out, then he becomes like the aliens kind of take over him. Is that what happens?
Yeah, so basically, he in 1938, he's trying to get into the eighth dimension with this overthrust that didn't quite work, and he got stuck in a wall instead of going through it. And you see all the aliens like trying to pull him through and rip him through and pull him through. Well, what happens is he gets possessed by that Lord Warfin, who takes over his body, and he's the crazy one that's in the insane asylum.
Yep, that's what I figured. That's what I thought. I mean, that dude's like doing like zapping himself and everything. I love too when like he's like, that better be a collect call, and he's just like. I mean, there's definitely some great things in this movie. I think it's just one that's worthy of a few watches. You know,
there's some great lines.
I would not say I hated it. I just feel like I went in with very, very high expectations.
Absolutely,
you know? But I tried to watch it a few times and I couldn't get into it. So it's one. I feel like it's another one too. You got to really be like in the mode for it, for just something.
Yeah, but you really got to sit there. I love with the president in the traction in the hospital there, and Buckaroo calls, I'm off to talk to the hornet's nest. The thing looks like a hornet's nest. That's why he's calling it a hornet's nest. And then they're all standing there. I love the part where they're sitting there in the bus there, and they hand out the things so that they can see the black lectoids and the red lectoids.
The masks.
And Jeff Goldblum,
the spaceship designs, bro.
He's sucking the thing, and then he looks back and he sees the guy, and he goes. I mean, it's a great reaction to this movie. Jeff Goldblum didn't say a lot, but he added a lot to this movie.
Absolutely. Something that stood out in my mind was the end scene where he's like very end when Weller's going on the bus and Jeff Goldblum's like, I did everything I can. And he walks past him, he like puts his hand on his shoulder, and he's just there's just something about that just I don't know, that just stuck out.
That too is just so goofy with like the cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
You know, like real goofy cowboy outfit.
Oh, you know, where they bust him and he goes, are they busting me? Are they making fun of me?
We got a spot open. Do you like to sing? Yeah. He's like, are you serious?
He goes, no, I can dance.
Yeah, he's like, I can dance a little bit, you know. There's some great lines in this movie, classic lines. But no, I wanted to spotlight the spaceship designs real quick, man. Though I thought those were super cool, like they're very unique. Organic looking. Yeah.
Very cool. The one almost looked like a hand in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a very,
that was another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was one thing I really wanted to, throw in there. I thought the spaceships were absolutely awesome. I really liked the alien designs too. I thought that they were very unique.
Oh,
different.
Yo, I looked that up because I was like, there's different. Like you said, it was kind of standing out to me, and they said like they based the designs on what would humans have, what would dinosaurs have looked like if they kind of evolved over the years to like a humanoid form. They hire an artist to like conceptualize. It was super dope. But yeah, it was unique.
And then you get the black lectoid bringing the mask to everybody in a pink cake box. I love when he's pedaling up on the bike. The guy goes, "Nice coat, man. What's in the box?"
David Lynch.
There's so much of that little stuff in the background there. And even the kid and his father weren't annoying either. There was nobody really truly annoying in this movie.
This movie has this inherent charm to it. That,
and of course, only in an '80s movie you're going to see a kid with an AR-15. So,
true shit, and it didn't even seem threatening or anything like that. Like you see a kid with the AR nowadays, you'd be like, "Yo, that's kind of messed up." But that was just it's a zany movie, but it's very fun, very fun.
Yeah, and the alien. That spaceship and those ultra high chairs there playing around, they're playing games or whatever they're doing.
Were they like tapped into her mind?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think they're up there.
Ready for setup.
Somebody's Alexa's talking back. Um, so yeah, I guess let's talk. I guess cinematography and music. As I said, music. I love the music for this. I want to find the soundtrack for this again because I love the electronic stuff and I love the end theme.
You would
And I
think
think
it'd come with a soundtrack, the Scream Factory version. That'd be a nice
Right.
yeah, I
bonus.
mean it does. It did
Yeah.
have a soundtrack back in the '80s. I don't know if there's a soundtrack out for it now. I had it on vinyl way back in the day.
Oh, really?
But I wore it out listening to it. Um, and the cinematography is just so different. I don't think the movie had a tremendously high budget, but I think it hit it pretty well. Obviously,
17 million. That wasn't too. It was
yeah,
like
some
I
of
was
the
thinking
some of
about
the
it.
spaceships effects are kind of goofy, but I think they're supposed to be kind of goofy looking, and
No, but they
especially
made You ever seen Chronicle? It came out like
uh,
2012. It's
I
got
think I
like the
did
three friends. That
right.
was made on a budget of like $20 million in 2012. So I would think like 17 million for in the 80s was kind of like a
Of
decent
course,
budget.
a lot of that probably went to they had a lot of big actors in this movie. I mean,
Advertising.
actors
Yo, true,
that were in
true.
this. The head of the studio. This came out, I believe. I don't know if it was New Line.
MGM.
It was MGM. The head of the studio absolutely hated this movie. Hated it. Didn't want
You
to put
probably
it
didn't
out.
understand it. Yeah.
It was lucky to even put it out, and then
Yeah,
it was
that's
not
probably
going to
because
green light
it
any
says you're going
sequels.
to get a sequel at the end of it.
Yeah, I
And
mean the movie
Yeah.
and the
like, you
movie
guys
did
should
actually
not have done that.
the movie actually did fairly well at the box office, and then
I heard
it
it
did.
It only made
didn't
it
do
only made like
that
6
well.
million.
Yeah, it did
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
okay.
only
didn't
made
do. It only
Yeah.
made like 6 more million, I think, than it was supposed to, or it might only
it
make.
made the budget was a movie should always make back its budget, and they
Yeah,
6 million on a 17 million budget, that's considered a failure.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because it was such a unique sci-fi film that you didn't see. There's
Yeah,
nothing really like it,
yeah,
and
still really nothing like it.
I still think it's more of a sci-fi comedy than an
So
actual
wait,
straight
the guy
sci-fi
that
movie.
wrote
But
the story is the guy that directed it.
yes,
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and he wrote the story for Big Trouble. That's
See, that's
they have
yeah,
the same
yeah,
energy.
yeah. I feel like maybe if he didn't direct it, then like if you given this to like
That's
Carpenter, because Carpenter slayed Big Trouble in Little China, like
absolutely.
absolutely, like
I don't really see anything wrong with the direction of this movie at all.
I just
I,
feel
I
like
can
that
see
was
I can see
more
what Dylan means though. Like this movie's kind of. I mean, I guess that is the point of
it's a little
Buckaroo, but
incoherent in the story. But I guess that's what people love. That's Steph was about to say, but
right.
Yeah, I mean the whole quirk of it is that this guy is everything to everybody and nobody to you. I mean, I think that's the conceit of the movie, and you have to either buy into it
Right.
or you can't buy into it.
I mean, he only directed 2 movies, and
Right.
I feel like there's a reason for that. To be honest, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it, but I just feel like sometimes guys that do their own work, they can't let go.
Well,
Like I have to do
I
this.
definitely think he's better. I think he's a better writer than he is a director.
Not even that it's bad or anything,
Yeah.
but I just feel like it just like because I feel like people love it because it's like incoherent and the story's like not just fully like you kind of like
Well,
it's
it's
kind
not
of
really
all over the
incoherent though. The
place.
story itself is not incoherent.
There's a charm to it.
It's quirky.
There's
I
charm
mean,
to it, but it's just
That's why I was saying like the Pulp Fiction,
it's
like Pulp Heroes had
confusing
like.
I mean, the story is what I basically said. The story is basically this guy, this alien dude, wants to go home. He got stuck here, and Buckaroo Banzai is dealing with this, with his old mentor, the old Dr. Hitachi, there, whatever his name is. He develops the oscillator overthruster that works, and he succeeds it. The guy sees it on TV. And now he wants to go home.
Trying to stop an alien invasion.
Yeah,
See,
now the
to
aliens.
that I didn't even pick up, and it's like.
But that's why, yeah, it's very.
You gotta watch it with headphones.
You gotta watch it. You gotta listen to it, man.
But that is not how you don't.
Yes,
it shouldn't be like that. Though.
Yeah, but it is though because there's so many diversions. How many times you sit down and watch movies and you're looking at your phone?
Well, if you're saying it like that, I'm just saying.
Yelling at
like
you.
have to watch.
There's movies that you have to pay attention to, and there's movies you don't.
Oh, I got you.
And this one you have to pay attention to. You can just let it
for
in the background.
Sure. Definitely.
But and then basically the thing that's a little quirky too is we get the girlfriend that looks kind of like the girlfriend.
Like it
was his sister.
She was the twin of his dead wife that he never knew about.
The aliens. Lord Warfin is a red lectoid, and the black lectoids are the aliens above the Earth that's starting the whole thing. They're at war with the red lectoids, and that's why
Oh, okay.
that's why they come to help Buckaroo.
Dude,
But
it
that's
said
also
that he did the screenplay for Needful Things, Steph.
who did W.D. Richter.
W.D. Richter.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's
I
done a
just,
lot of
like I
screenplays.
just feel like it. Like I know you love it. I'm not trying to down it. I
No,
just
I
think
understand.
if it was done by like Carpenter, it would be a
I don't think it'd be any
masterpiece.
different.
Just like I think Big Trouble is. I'm not saying like. I just think that if you put it in like
I
real
would think it would be different.
director's
Yeah,
hands, it would
it
have
would
been
be
a
different. It
masterpiece.
wouldn't be the quirky movie that is. This wasn't
I
played
think it's
straight.
still. I
Because
mean,
all right, so Big Trouble and this
Big
movie
Trouble
both
is
have the
still
same
quirky.
energy. Yeah, they have the same
that
energy.
same energy. I'm just saying the direction is missing, where it's like you can tell it's not done by an as competent director as like Carpenter. I think the guy is a fantastic writer. I think just it was a bit much for him to pull off, especially that's his debut film.
Mhm.
This is a
I
big
think
movie. This is a
he
big
wasn't
movie.
in. It was intentional though. Like I think like when Peter Weller like comes on the bus at the end, he like kind of turns the corner all and just, they were used intentionally. Like that's why I say it was like a pulp thing because like Doc Savage, he
Right,
was like a top
exactly.
surgeon. He would go
Right.
travel
Yeah.
to the
Yes,
Amazon and
it's a play.
Some
on all
films are just
that.
like meant for the cult film, for the
Yeah.
yeah,
cult, like
yeah.
archival. So
Yeah, this movie
it's one I
definitely
gotta watch
was.
a couple more
This
times.
movie was definitely a cult movie. It was made understanding it was going to be that was going to be kind of off the
Yeah.
wall and wacky, and that it didn't really. Not that it doesn't have a coherent story. It's trying to be that type of quirky type of story the whole way through it. So
Yeah,
it's interesting, but yeah, definitely a lot of people either like it, don't
I
like
just
it.
feel it
or-
has a little bit more potential. I feel it has a lot more potential than what we got. That's my only gripe.
That's
because
fair. Yeah.
I just feel like it is a good movie. It's not terrible. It's not, but I just feel like it has a lot more potential, and that's why maybe we needed more sequels. It's a bummer that we only got the one.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's a travesty.
But
honestly.
it's crazy because like I know me and Two Gun like literally feel the same.
Well, is
Like
it?
we're
Is
like
it?
we
Is it
really
though? 'Cause
want to
maybe-
like it, but it's like
Well,
it's just something we're
maybe not
picking up
though.
on.
Maybe it's not a bummer because maybe the second one wouldn't have been as quirky, wouldn't have the magic that this one had, that made this a cult film. And I can give you an example of that for my number 2 favorite film in the world, Escape from New York.
Yeah.
That got a sequel. Did that sequel enhance the first one? No.
I enjoy the sequel.
Yeah,
though.
but that's
I do.
sequel.
I like the sequel too,
That's
but
like
it's
a remake. That's almost like a remake
but it's
sequel.
not
A
as good as
reboot
the
type
first
stuff.
movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
that one's like, and I think, what about that one? I forget why they like. I can't remember why they even made that one.
Well, because the first one was a huge cult hit.
But the second one's even more quirky. I feel like so it's like almost the opposite.
But there's good quirky and bad quirky, and the second one was kind of bad quirky.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Well,
quite as
that's
good.
terrible CGI too.
Yeah, I know, it had terrible
Surfing
CGI.
scene. I mean,
It came out quite a bit. Didn't it come out like 17 years
Steve
after the first
Buscemi
one?
was- Not that long. I don't
that
think
long.
it
I
was
thought the
that
first
long.
one came out in 80, and the second one came out in like 97, didn't it?
Did it come out in 80? It might have been then. Yeah, because the second one was like
81 was the
97,
second,
96. Okay, yeah. It's been a while then.
Yeah, it's been a
Damn.
while.
Yeah,
It's been a
dang,
while.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
can't remember why they even did that, man.
Well, because the first one was a huge cult movie. It was huge. I mean, it was.
So
a
they're trying to
huge
tap
movie.
It was
into
almost
that.
like, man, just literally diving back into the well. 96, wow.
Yeah, so 16 years later. So,
Yep.
I mean, I don't dislike the second one.
No, it's a fun one. I mean, I own it.
It just had some bad.
Blu-ray.
It just had some
I
bad
remember you bought the
CGI.
4K even. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I
you
like
double dipped on
you
that
even
puppy.
had what's his face was in it. The Ash was in it.
Steve
as a surgeon.
Buscemi was in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love- Steve Buscemi was really
Ash
good.
wasn't in that
I love
one.
Steve Buscemi in that one. Ash was the surgeon.
You get Donald Pleasance. I mean,
Donald, yeah.
Ash who? I mean, you get Stacy Keach.
Bruce Campbell was in it.
Bruce Campbell's in the first one.
No,
He's
he's in the second
in
one.
the second. Oh, he's in the second one.
Yeah, he plays the surgeon to the
I
stars.
thought he was in the first one.
No, he's in the second one.
Okay.
We're giving everybody bad facelifts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he
Yeah.
had the bad face lift
The
himself.
cheekbones. Yeah.
So I guess we'll go to like any favorite scenes of the movie, Steph. What's your favorite scene?
Man, I know it's cliche, but that end credit scene, just there's something
Even though it's not the. Even though it's
Walking
not.
scene?
The walking scene. I don't know what it is about that scene. I think
I
it's
was
the
like
mixture
waiting
of the
for
music.
some type of different end credit scene like that, like the way you guys made it sound.
No, it was just so cool with the music and the whole thing. It's
I
just
love the music. Yeah,
that adds to the conceit of the movie. We get the whole cast coming out. If you notice, they come out twice. They come out once in their costumes, and they come out twice in kind of like street clothes and costumes.
Regular
at the
clothes.
end,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. So that's I can understand why that would be a favorite scene.
It's just super charming, and that song is infectious, man.
Yeah, I
Very.
think for me, favorite scene in the movie, I would have to say just the scene where they're going into the warehouse. Just seeing all the aliens there. When we going home? When we going Plantain? When we going real soon? They're all there. They all hate everybody there. The Lord Wharf and they got the little thing in the background. Work. And they go down the pit. And he goes to go, more honey, get more ants. And they put ants and honey, and they go, I don't know why. And they had that thing going down over that much. So I like the whole warehouse sequence. I think that's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Good choice.
Any favorite scenes in the movie, Dylan P? Did you like any scene in particular?
I think I'd probably go with that John Lithgow scene where he's just, like mumbling to himself, shocking himself with the tongue thing and just like going crazy. And then the one guy
when he comes back and
about the electric, and then he's like,
yeah.
"But that better be a goddamn collect call." And then he just kind of snaps.
I think all the stuff in the Crazy Home is pretty good.
Yeah. He's absolutely like the Lithgow is just like an animal in that role. Like he's just like muttering to himself the whole time. What is he doing?
Hunched over.
John Lithgow's been so good in so many different movies.
Like he's hysterical in that with the crazy red hair, just out.
The mad scientist hair.
Yeah,
he played that woman in Garp, and he played so many good, interesting characters throughout his career.
Yeah, he has range, man. He really has range.
And then
Third Rock from the Sun.
Third Rock from the Sun, yeah.
Yeah.
But
he played a serial killer in Dexter.
Dexter, yeah.
Oof. You never.
That was like with the best season, bro.
That was the best season.
Like I never would expect that.
Actually, probably that show kind of took a dive after that season.
Isn't that when Julia Stiles came on right after that? Like that's.
I think so, yeah.
I think that's for even though I didn't mind it.
That season wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was really hard to top that season.
You're right. Right.
But all that show needed was anybody that's doing showrunners should always do this. They should always say, we don't know how long we're going to go, but if we go 5 years or 8 years or whatever, but let's write and figure out and get an ending now.
End game going, yeah.
You can tell when a show doesn't have a fucking clue on how it's going to end.
And I can't. There's not many shows, if any. There might be a couple that I like. Shows always fumble the ending.
I don't
know what it is. I know people always say it's very hard to do an ending, especially like long running shows. But it's like I'd love for someone to put in the credit in the chat like any good ending shows. I'd say Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. I was just gonna say yes. Breaking Bad had a fantastic.
The Sopranos did it decently.
I think mine was Sopranos. They wanted it to be left open. So I think
I think that's versus what the audience.
I hated the Sons of Anarchy ending. I fucking hated that.
But that was telegraphed from the beginning and how it was going to end. That's the way it was.
I don't think that was. I don't know if that was telegraphed.
Yeah, he was going to go out like his father did. That was telegraphed.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the woman there.
It was like a Macbeth.
His father went out that way. Don't mean he had to.
Yeah, Macbeth, and you saw that woman, the vagrant, throughout the whole series, hanging in the blanket. And then in the last episode, she goes, "It's your time."
Oh yeah.
And he becomes the Reaper. That was all ordained.
I know. Just because it was telegraphed, I don't. Just because
Justified didn't
don't mean I gotta like it.
Justified didn't end too badly. What's another show that just Breaking Bad? What's another show that just ended?
Sopranos was okay. Everyone
Lost had a bad ending.
Was it which one?
Lost.
I didn't watch Lost. I don't know.
Me either.
The other show that had a bad ending was Twilight. Not Twilight Zone. X-Files. X-Files ended badly too.
X-Files. Game of Thrones. Everyone. I didn't care about Game of Thrones as much. I didn't think it was that bad. People really fucking hate on it.
I'll go as far as say people were saying.
Go ahead.
they're like saying it was the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
For me particularly is the last season, but
Yeah,
I don't
last
mind
season.
every season up until the last season.
Yeah, oh, same. Well, the thing that gets me is that I hate that they rushed it because
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
like, "Oh,
Yep.
we got a Star Wars gig. Let's fucking rush it." And then it's like, dude, this is what got you guys famous. You need to be like,
Exactly.
we are
Respect
not
that.
doing nothing until it respect it. Yes, man. And it's like they rushed it, and then we got nothing about Jon Snow, like all those like threads.
Yeah, the
that
Jon
No
Snow
payoffs.
stuff,
like
no
it
payoff
just
on
made
that.
nothing. So there was a few things I did that pissed me off, but it wasn't like the word like where people were
No,
like,
yeah, it was still
"Oh,
entertaining.
Yeah,
you know, yeah,
the thing
yeah.
I was kind of I'm on the fence about too is the whole thing with Wild who is the two guys? The brother and sister there.
oh yeah, well, they're like stepbrothers
The
or whatever.
Lannisters.
Yeah, the Lannisters. Okay,
Oh,
there's
the
there's
Lannisters.
two modes of thought in that. Is he had such a growth in that show. I find it hard to believe he'd go back and just die with his sister. But on the other
That
hand,
was their,
I can kind of buy it because
Yeah,
that's how it started out.
right.
and that was
In
their
the
way
end,
of
he
trying
did
to
change.
redeem him because he was too much of a bastard beforehand.
Right.
Like he had done too much foul
There's
stuff that
almost
he had
too
to
much
pay for it.
fully redeem him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
but I want it's
I
Fable saying
think
Next
probably
Generation and
the thing I
Quantum Leap
just
good shows, good endings.
what's that?
You say is Fable saying that Next Generation and Quantum Leap shows that ended well?
Mm.
I think he is because that's what I asked, right?
Quantum, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him never coming home. I guess okay.
Sopranos was decent. Breaking Bad was decent. What's the other one I'm trying to
I
think
was
of?
trying to think of some other shows.
You know what the
just
problem with Sopranos is? It's kind of like that Inception ending where
I
people
didn't
wanted
like
to
the
see it.
last season really. With
I
like,
get
with all like the sweat dreams that he's had and all the sweat nightmares
Panic.
he's going through.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not big on when shows do dream sequences, and the Sopranos did them a lot.
Especially Sopranos, man. Like
They love their dream sequences in the Sopranos.
It was trying to go into his mentality, though.
I
You
know.
know, like he was. You know, but yeah, they did do it a lot.
they just did it a little too overboard. I
Yeah.
still absolutely love the Sopranos, but
Yeah,
what the hell? There's one I'm forgetting, man. But
there's a bunch of them that.
yeah, there's a
Seinfeld?
lot of stinkers, man. I
Seinfeld was a
remember
terrible ending.
Prison Break. Prison Break, I got into the first like
Yeah, that was
two
a terrible
seasons.
ending,
The
too.
first two seasons of Prison Break were really good.
That was a
And
Riveting,
terrible
bro.
and that just had a fucking shit show, and that just
Yeah,
went down the
terrible.
drain.
Didn't take a break and like come back.
They did though. Well, they like ended it, and then they came back, and they were in
Oh.
like some Cambodian prison or something, man.
Yeah,
It
the
was
guy wasn't dead, and then at the end they killed him again.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly it was that. And I
It was
couldn't
so
believe
stupid.
that, man. That was ridiculous. Where I think it was the opposite that now it was the smart brother that we thought was
Didn't they
dead.
do the
and
same
he
thing
was
at the
in-
end of
he was in
24 again?
the
24 end with Kiefer Sutherland in a Russian prison.
Yeah, some bullshit like
Mm.
that. And
It's the same ending.
literally.
But all right, so I'm just trying to check here because Robbie's coming up soon. I want to step over him. What time is it? Oh wait, there, good. So I guess we just rate this now, and we're talking about TV shows ending badly. I guess we should do a whole show on that. Maybe that'd be a good interesting show. I could fill up a book. No, Seinfeld's ending sucked with her in prison there. That was horrific. That was a terrible ending.
Friends was
Yeah.
a good one. Friends
Which-
ended good.
Friends.
How I Met
I
Your
didn't
Yeah.
Mother
watch
was a
Friends.
good ending, but those are like sitcoms. Sitcoms do it a
Star
little
Trek: The
better.
Next Generation.
They
ended-
have bad endings sometimes, sitcoms,
definitely
but
do. But
yeah.
I don't get into the sitcoms as much. Like I grew up on
Yeah.
Friends, and then How I Met Your Mother was one I watched more in like my teenage years. Which
Star
I
Trek:
love
The
both
Next
of them.
Generation ended great, and then fucking Picard came and ripped it all apart. That's a.
I like the Battlestar Galactica ending personally. I know people don't dig it. The remake,
I tell you where the show went wrong. Now it's because of the remake, where I think it didn't jump the shark, but I felt it turned a corner it didn't recover from. When they when they finally said everybody's a fucking silent, everybody's a silent. That was a little overboard. I thought. I didn't like that everybody, including the sheep, but when they got on that planet, when they got abandoned on that planet, on that planet there.
right? Yeah, the one that
I thought that was
the
good,
Rocky one.
but I thought it went bad after that because then they did the time jump, I just didn't like where the show went after
Apollo got
that.
overweight and stuff. Yeah,
I think the show would it never recovered from that. It just didn't.
it lost it changed the momentum, and I can agree with that. I
And then
can give
once
you that.
everybody, including the chief and his wife and this, everybody was assigned. That was just no. I didn't care for that. The ending
Yeah,
itself, the
yeah.
last episode, wasn't horrible.
Oh, speaking
But
of there's this the number, I think her number 6, the one in the red dress.
yeah.
She was in that Spiral movie.
Oh, was
That
she really?
Yeah, played
Uh-huh.
Zachary Levi's at that dinner scene for the Christmas party. She's in a very brief scene, but she's in it. I was like, yo, that's pretty wild. That was dope to see her.
Yeah.
So fun
Yeah, I
fact.
haven't seen her much of anything since that show ended, really, which is too bad because she was.
She was. I learned this from Fable, but apparently she was just a model that they
Oh,
liked
really?
her look and they called her in and she knocked it out the park
She did
because she
pretty
was
good.
a
She did pretty
great.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. She was
Wow.
one of the best characters.
Yeah. Definitely. And then they brought in too many people. They kept on bringing in Lucy Lawless and the guy from Quam
It was
Lee.
good to see Lucy Lawless. Let's be honest. It was.
But, all right, so let's rate this one. I guess I'll start. It's my favorite movie of all time. I gave 5 to Burial Ground now, but I said movies don't rank. That's a whole different genre.
Do you want to take that 5 back?
I do not. I'm not taking it back. I will never
He's
take it back.
standing his ground, brother.
I'm standing my ground.
Respect.
I still say it's better than Fucci's Zombie. Sorry.
They got so offended when you said that.
But the thing is, how can you say that this is nothing but a ripoff of Fucci's Zombie when Fucci's Zombie was a ripoff of Dawn of the Dead? Come on.
Dude, everybody is ripping off everybody. That's the thing. It's like.
But anyways, so I'm going to give this movie, because I think it's my favorite movie of all times, I'm going to give it a 5 because I really, really like it. So that's a 5 for me. But I can see where it could be lower for people that don't like it. Some people might honestly hate this movie. I can find people that do.
Yeah. It's one. I think it's like you either get it or you with
Well,
it.
I think there's a lot of people that just don't like to do quirky. They don't like quirky.
Yeah, understandable.
So, all right, Steph, what do you think?
Yeah. This movie to me is just kind of like art. Like just let's just go for it. Swing for the fences. Be bombastic. Be just soap opera-ish. Let's just be everything. I want to give it a 5. Probably very rare that we will agree on the same score in a movie, Scarpad, but
especially at the wild burial ground. Which you gave a 1.5.
1.69. But there's an inherent charm to this movie that when I first watched this, I was kind of like Dylan, like, what is this? What's going on? But it was like that end credit scene that made me, I was like, because I just was hooked on that song. So I was like, let me go give this movie another chance. But I did, and I get it. And once again, I can get why. Yeah. Right. I get why someone wouldn't get, because it kind of throws you into, it's just another chapter of this hero. You don't really know his origin story. It's just thrown into the middle.
I still love Battlestar Galactica though. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the journey was worth it. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
But Battlestar Galactica, I think, had one of the best first episodes of any show. That one where they got jumped for 33 minutes and they try to get over the sidelines. That's a great show.
Oh my god! And then the effects on that. I don't want to get into that. I love the spaceships in that, and like how they. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 5. This is just a very charming movie, and I'm just here for all the wacky stuff that was going on.
Cool. Dylan? Be honest, my brother.
I don't mean to be like Robbie and be the odd one out, but probably, I'd probably go with what Two Gun said. I'd probably go with 3, man, but it's got room to grow.
That's solid, brother. Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe 3.69, but I gotta watch it again, man. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't hate it or anything. I just didn't love it, and I didn't I feel like I was missing something,
Well, what? Next time you throw it on with the commentary.
With the what?
With the commentary.
Oh yeah, that would be that's what I'm gonna have to do because a lot of times that really helps me picking up a commentary and just kind of being able to pick the director's brain and the art the actors and see what they're really like going for, so I can
You're
kind of
right.
sometimes shit has to be like really spelled out for me, and
No, it
that,
helps for the insight sometimes, just to be like, okay, like I can see why they did that way, bro. Like I respect that more now that
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
aware of that. Yeah,
100%. I'm 100% like that. A
yeah.
lot
There's
of
nothing
times,
wrong with
like
that.
just one little thing will be like, "Oh my God!" Like now I totally get it, and then
That's what this
I'll
movie
love
is,
it.
bro. Like, cause my
So,
first watch, I was like you, I didn't know what this was. Like, I was
yeah,
like, I just kind of it clicked for me, and I just kind of was like, all right, I'll just go for the ride. And
Yeah,
right.
you
that
can
three is
kind
not
of
a bad
tell,
score,
and
bro.
you can kind of tell a
No,
movie, and they said it in here. You can kind of tell when the cast, the crew, are having a good time on a movie because it does show up, I think, on the screen on this. And
Absolutely.
when I watched the extras on this, they had everybody was that made this movie
yeah,
like
and it's
Peter
like
Weller.
they're old as shit, so they
The,
all came back. It's not
yeah,
like
they
they're
all
just
came
like
back and they all
making
said
of.
this movie we still I of all movies I made in my career, I think this is one of the best movies I made and best one I had a time with. Lithgow said that, Peter Weller said that, Jeff Goldblum said that.
Oh wow,
Christopher Lloyd said that. They all just, and throughout the years, they get asked about this movie more than anything else. So
oh,
that's,
I
I think, a
think
good
yeah. I wish I
that
could have watched
that
the behind the scenes.
yeah,
that energy you're talking like the good times they had is embodied in that end scene where they're
yeah,
walking together to
yeah.
like they're just having a good time. Like you can tell they're all just kind of enjoying that, and it was just
That
yeah.
they
I
had a
like the
blast making it.
right.
Yeah.
They probably like as actors, they have a lot of bad experiences making movies, and a lot of
Hey,
times they
plenty.
say they're like, "You might love this movie." They're like, "But
You don't
RoboCop,
know what I went through.
Peter Weller's like, man, I went through some shit with that suit." You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
to get that made and like
Right.
to sit in
Well,
that.
and too, this was the height of Peter Weller's popularity. I mean, he's just coming off of RoboCop and
He
Bucky
got RoboCop
Banzai.
after this.
Did he do RoboCop? No,
Yeah, that
RoboCop.
was
When did
that was
RoboCop
like
come out?
late 80s, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Was it
I
87?
forget what
RoboCop.
year.
Oh, maybe it was
I
87. He did
think it was
one.
87. Yeah.
Okay. He probably only did, I know it was one of the time he was doing that. He did Leviathan and
Yeah. Yeah.
Steamers and a whole bunch of other movies around that. He was pretty big back in the day there. And then he became a director, and of course he directs everything now. So, his career worked out pretty well for him.
Oh,
He does a lot of
I did
TV.
not piece that together.
Well, yeah, he
I've
does.
seen
Well,
Peter
he done
Weller and
a lot of TV. Yeah, yeah. He done Sons of Anarchy. He was in it, and he directed a ton of it. He's
Oh,
done
really?
all the popular shows. I think he did Sopranos.
1987. Oh yeah, he was in it. Yeah, I always forget he's really old in it, man. He bangs that
and
line.
yeah, yep.
He's in it and he directed because I was just looking at the Sons of Anarchy like credits and I did see I was like, dude, Peter Weller's actually directed and
Jax shot him right in the fucking head. He came into
yep,
Delhi there. Remember?
yep.
Boom. I do for you, son. Two.
Yeah, I always kind of forget because he has that California tan in it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yep.
yeah. He
He
played
He's
the
like
does
Phil.
look
very
different.
tan in it, and then he's got the very old style slick back where it's
Right.
like balding in the middle, but he's still trying to pull the slick back off.
Yeah, he's
Like
done a
let it
lot of
go.
stuff, man, and he's directed a lot
He
of good
really
stuff.
has.
So
I didn't know
Respect.
he directed a lot of TV. It looked like.
yeah, a lot of TV he's done. Yeah, a lot of TV, a lot of HBO type stuff, Showtime, Cinemax, and some more than anything else. I think he does, and he's done a lot of like Sons of Anarchy and FX stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right, so it's we're gonna 5 and 5 and a 3. It's pretty good. We're gonna give it
Yeah.
a
Wait till I hear the
give it
shit from Robbie on this one.
give it a 4, and I think that's a good score. But definitely one of
Pretty
the more
solid.
quirky and interesting science fiction movies of the 80s. Very 80s. It had all the 80s stars in it, and the music and everything. I think it's something of its time, and I don't think you really could do it now unless you did play it straight. I think you can
Right.
bring it back and play it completely straight now.
You know who would be good for something like this? Edgar Wright. He
Yeah.
would be able to match like
Yeah.
that quirky, zany energy
Mhm.
that this movie required. Like Scott Pilgrim, something like that. That
Yeah.
just kind of
What I would love to see happen is them to remake it, have Edgar Wright remake it, bring a new Buckaroo in, but get Peter Weller to do the Dr. Lizardo part. I'd love to see that.
I'd be down for that. Hell yeah.
That could be
'Cause
interesting. Could be very interesting.
heck yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in, and thank everybody for coming. Thankfully, you were able to watch it this week.
Yeah.
It's a show that is not in the ether like the one we did last week. And in about 20 minutes,
Are
I
we
think
live?
Robbie's. Yes, we are.
This time we are.
You almost
luckily.
got me. I looked.
Yeah, me too.
Shit. Robbie's in about 15 minutes to do his show on Clerks. Big
Yeah.
spoiler. The guy dies in 3. Yeah, no. Anyway, so Clerks.
They go to a funeral.
Yeah, so Clerks in about 15 minutes. And then Friday night, we have the next 4 episodes on our Twilight Zone show. Should be interesting. A real good one coming. A couple good ones in the next batch.
Yes, sir.
Saturday night,
The next
Misery at Dylan's
Ooh.
Horror Show. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
get to watch Kathy Bates hobble James Caan.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but every time I put that movie on, I rewind that and watch that scene about 15 times.
My girl can't watch it. I'm like, come on. They don't even really show much.
All this shit they show is terrifying.
Just the camera
She
work,
can't watch
though.
that. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
and the
Well, I can
That's
imagine
great.
that would hurt like a mother, though. You have to admit that.
Oh my god,
that would
bro,
hurt.
that would be insane.
I have bad. My foot looks like that now. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But
Please don't.
and then
That would be such a bad. Like you would never walk the same. And he gets his leg broken twice. Like it's broken.
Right.
yeah, he got rebroke, didn't he? Yeah,
Then she re-breaks it. Oh,
that's gotta suck, man.
I can't wait.
And she wasn't trying to set it or anything, so it probably regrew, healed all improper, and
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the higher end Stephen King's movies.
Oh, without a doubt. If not, like honestly, it's probably like one of the highest. I mean, Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
I've been trying to seek out a copy of it. It's on a print now, and I don't have it. I haven't seen it in 20 years. I want to see Dolores Claiborne again, and I think it's on a print.
No,
Or at least didn't Scream Factory do one, and that's on a print.
it's just the regular Blu-ray.
I have to look. Was that any good?
You can get it. I'll
haven't
send
seen it in a long time.
you a link later. I have it. I only have it on DVD, sadly, because I got like on Hamilton. I'd gotten like a 4-pack
Mhm.
for like $4 or something, and I was like, I already had like all the movies, but I needed Dreamcatcher and Dolores Claiborne came in it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get that to hold me off until I get the Blu-ray. But yeah, you could definitely get the Blu-ray. It's just
Cool.
it's always at like $17 to $20.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, eh.
All right, and don't
I like
forget,
it.
come back here next Monday night for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, buddy.
Sci-fi clowns, more clowns kill us.
Mm.
John Vernon, you can't do better than that. So
Yes,
hopefully
sir.
everybody will be with us then. I don't know what happened to Steph. He went bye-bye.
Probably
But-
phone glitched out or something.
But hopefully he'll be back. So thank you everybody for
Scarpad's domain.
we'll catch you next week, and we'll catch you throughout the week and be back here Friday night for Twilight Zone. So thank you everybody for coming in, and hope you
Yes, sir.
enjoyed it, and we'll catch you guys later.
See you later.